this marvelous light.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could relate to that, this song's for you.
Every time I think about all he's done, how he changed my life and made it so much better, I'm just in awe. It's so amazing, yeah. 'Cause many times I was down on my knees crying, looking for the answer, but I couldn't find it at all, yeah. But he always came on time and made it right. He's so he's faithful, yeah. He won't let me fall. Never, he never let me down before. Oh no, every day I need him. 'Cause I'm just a man. I'm just a human. And I can't do nothing without him. I'll give you the glory. Without him, I'm nothing. Trials and tribulations everywhere I look. So I find myself deeper in this book. 'Cause I believe what he says when I read. See, the scripture said it was gonna get worse. So these righteous acts, I'm gonna rehearse it and keep going no matter what. I know he's covering me. Yes, I believe he's faithful. So I'm never worried, no. He won't let me fall. He's got me in his hands, and he's holding me every day I need him. 'Cause I'm just a human, and he's so much more. Now without him, I'm nothing. Without him, if you're out there listening and you know that everything you got is 'cause I'm him, put your hands up right now and say thank you. You should say thank you, and let him know you appreciate everything he's done for you. Oh, say thank you, thank you. 'Cause he didn't have to do it, but he did. He's been faithful, yeah. And every day he won't let me fall. No, he won't. He never let me down before. Not once. Every day I need him more. And I know that I can't do nothing without him. I need him for everything, yeah. And I'm nothing now without him. All the breath I breathe that don't belong to me. I'm nothing without him. Oh, I'm nothing at all without him.
And we gon' purge all these demons out. We in the end time. I see your trick. All praise to the Most High. Yahweh Ba Shema Masha Ya Yasa. Abanawa Allah. I vow to live for you. I need a face. I'm about to make the devil really mad. I got a soul he can never have. I'm on the road on a narrow path. Messiah, my rock, falling on commands. I'ma get up when I fall like a man, like Moses did when he raised his hands. Keeping that oil in my lamp is a plane. We in the end times while you playing. I know the angels watching me. Every day I'm really on my knees. Forgive me, Father, for offending thee. I want Messiah to remember me. I ain't trying to part from me. Plead the blood while some demons flee. Show the Father he all I need. I ain't trying to part from me. We in the spiritual war. Messiah's right at the door. We in the end time, yeah, for sure. It's really time to shop from source. Who gon' receive the spiritual power? I was gon' send it down like a shower. All in that lamp, candles lit. He gon' destroy this in an hour. I told Satan, get thee behind me. I'm in that secret place, he can't find me. Sending them demons at me, get around me. Open that ocean out, but he can't drown me. Who really living and walking the world? The fire's coming, what you ain't heard. The fire's coming, you about to burn. He's sending them prophets you don't wanna learn. I vow to live make the devil really mad. I got a soul he can never have. I'm on the road on a narrow path. Messiah, my rock, falling no commands. I'ma get up when I fall like a man, like Moses did when he raised his hands. Keeping that oil in my lamp is a plane. We in the end times while you playing. I know the angels watching me. Every day I'm really on my knees. Forgive me, Father, for offending thee. I want Messiah to remember me. I ain't trying to depart from me. Plead the blood while some demons flee. Show the Father he all I need. I ain't trying to depart from me.
It's time to put the children to sleep.
And we gon' purge all these.
It's Wild Out Wednesday.
Let's go.
It's time to put the children to sleep. Grab your strong drink. It's Wild Out Wednesday.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Yo, shalom to the brothers on the stage. Officer Shemaiah, Soldier Araya, shalom. How y'all doing?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Same enduring, Cap.
Khan, all praise to the Most High.
Likewise, and doing. Can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah, you sound a little bit muffled. A little bit. You sound a little muffled.
Can you hear me clear now?
Yeah, you sound a little bit better. Khan. All praise to the Most High, man. So we got the new soldier Araya in the building. He on class tonight. All praise to the Most High. Hey, we're gonna have a fun one tonight, man. This a hot topic, man. Brothers be getting their feelings about this right here. When we start bringing up things like this, you know, brothers getting their feelings, but we gonna have fun with it, man. And we go search the scriptures and we go see what the scriptures, what the scriptures say. You hear me? That's what we supposed to do. But shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Everyone who's in the building. Hey, shalom to you all. I hope you guys are all enduring. I hope that you're in your spirits. Hey, Nazar said you were sad. What were you sad about, Ak? What you were sad about? So, yo, we go really just get into it. So before we start to bring everything out, because like I said, this is a highly debatable topic, but I think when you really look at the scriptures and see what the scriptures say, yo, it's only one way that you can roll on this. But we go get into it. I enjoyed watching boxing, or I did. Hey, yo, Nazar, I feel you. And so, hey, we're gonna take it there, man, and we go see what the scriptures say. And if I'm in error, man, I'm in error. I don't profess to know everything. I'm a student of this word, and I'm trying to, work on soul salvation, right? That's what we all trying to do, work out our own soul salvation. So I'm just going to present my argument. Hey, we want an interactive chat. I want y'all to talk back to me, right? Be like, yo, how are you going off? Or nah, that ain't what it say, or it don't mean that. You know what I mean? And let's have the convo. But in the meantime, real quick, let's go ahead and let's get into some shout outs.
Sister Joan Gilchrist, shalom. Diane Bun Zebulon, shalom. Zebulon, Soldier Zebulon, shalom. Soldier Nadia, shalom. Soldier DTA Twan, shalom. Officer Knox, shalom. Captain Aharon, shalom. Officer Boaz, shalom. Brown, shalom. And Asnaya? Azanaya. Shalom, sis. Yaikwab, shalom. Sister L, shalom, sis. 12 Gates, shalom.
Hey, shalom to the 12 Gates. Hey, I was doing a class with them brothers, man. The other Actually, last night, man. Y'all go and check out the brother Success's Journey channel and the 12 Gates Israelites. Check out their channel as well. Brothers doing mighty work.
Trying.
Chavis Shalom. Soldier Kodash Shalom. Nazar 12 Gate Shalom. Captain Canal Shalom. Belen Christella Shalom. Damon Shalom. Captain Canal Shalom. Success Journey Shalom.
Got that dick on my brother right there. Hey, Shalom, Barak.
Captain Canal Shalom.
That man got. Hey, he like that brother that was on the other night.
Officer,
multiple.
yeah, Officer Kadar Haran Shalom. Valerie Shalom. World Without End Shalom. Latoya Shalom.
All right, and yo, Shalom to everybody who's gonna be joining with us later. And yo, you know, we'll try to shout you out. Oh, the sis just came up in the building.
Zephaniah Shalom.
Right, and
Jolie Francis Shalom.
Shalom. Yo, to everybody who's in the building, man, and Shalom again to everybody who's gonna be joining us later, or who's just gonna watch at a later date, or later time period. Y'all might not be able to get on, but Shalom to y'all, and Shalom to Officer Boaz who just joined on the stage. I know he gonna have something hot to say about the topic that we gonna get into. Like I said, let's go ahead and let's pretty much get into it. We got to get our course on this date in history first, before we slide in it. Boaz, you got anything you want to say to the people?
I just want to give a hearty shalom to the Adawayim and Wa'akyam on the panel, and shalom to the people in the chat. Yo, if you came in the room and you haven't done it yet, go ahead and hit the like at the top left and make sure to share. If you send in a share on your social media platforms, that's cool. You can send it in personal text message to your family too, because that's even better. You know what I'm saying? Share with your church congregation and everything like that to bring the people in, and that way we can have this discussion and talk about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. We got some more information that we're going to give to y'all too after the class, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Adawan get into the history portion real quick.
Right. And yo, we gonna be going into a lot of history today, in dealing with boxing, right? In dealing with contact sports, boxing, mixed martial arts. That's specifically what I'm addressing. I know it's always somebody funny who like to start throwing out other, sports. What about basketball? We dealing with the contact sports, right? But anyhow, let's go ahead. Let's hop into this article here real quick. Officer Shemaiah.
Yeah, hold on. Go down a little bit and read the title.
Oh, con.
White mob lynches black veteran Powell Green in North Carolina. All right. On the night of December 27, 1919, a 23-year-old black veteran named Powell Green was lynched by a mob of white men near Franklin, North Carolina. After a prominent white movie theater owner was shot and killed, Powell Green was arrested for allegedly committing the crime. During the era of racial terror, white allegations against black people were rarely subject to scrutiny and often sparked violent reprisal, even when there was no evidence tying the accused to any offense. Many African Americans were lynched across the South under the accusations of murder when mere suggestions of black on white violence could provoke mob violence and lynching before the justice system could or would act. While policemen were moving Power Green from the jail in Franklin to a larger city of Raleigh, before he could be tried or mount a defense, a mob kidnapped and brutally killed him. The mob, right there. The mob tied Mr. Green to a car and dragged him for half a mile before shooting him with dozens of bullets and hanging his body.
God damn. Hey, Salakia, it's like, man, when does overkill become overkill? You tie a man to a car and drag his body with the car.
That's like what they did in Texas, James Byrd.
Yeah.
When they dragged him in Jasper. They dragged him, and body parts were just miles and miles apart. Like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. And that was what, shit, the 90s?
Right. It's like, and you know, the Bible says nothing new under the sun. So these crackers, you know, they've been doing this to our people for centuries, man. Let me get the book of Amos real quick. Let me get the book of Amos, chapter 1, and let me get verse 11.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 1. In verse 11, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast.
That's what, Edom has been pursuing us with the sword, man, since the beginning of time, man. They've been pursuing us with the sword, right? This right here don't make no sense. When you read about stories like this, you done drug the man in a car, then after you done drug him, then you shoot him, like, you know he dead already.
Yeah.
Right? The man is already dead, but that's not good enough. You got to put slugs in his body just for sport.
Keep going.
Yeah, come
on. It was not uncommon for lynch mobs to seize their victims from jail, prisons, courtrooms, or out of police hands. That's crazy. Though they were armed and charged with protecting the men and women in their custody, police almost never used force to resist white lynch mobs intent on killing black people.
Yo,
in some cases,
let me get Zechariah 1:15 real quick.
Somebody grab that. I got a precept too out of one.
Con. Go ahead, get yours, and then we'll get that Zechariah 1:15.
Nah, I just grabbed a precept from the water to brown with the precept from Lamentations. It's Lamentations 2:21. The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. You know, just like the article that Adonai Shemaiah is reading, it's showing that they ain't have no pity. Because they give him like going through a brutal death. Like, not only are you dragging him through the streets, they said they doing what? Shooting him
and hanging him.
Like, why you gotta do all that?
That don't make no sense.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
The dragon alone, like getting your skin peeled from you, like that's brutal pain right there.
Come on, man.
And then you're gonna shoot him, and then you're gonna hang him. Like, when is it gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? At what point are you gonna realize like he dead?
Right. And then, you know, what makes this whole story even more crazy, like, I mean, it's already crazy enough that they did this, but this brother was a veteran.
They don't care nothing about that.
Don't care nothing about it. Y'all remember the video that we showed where the vet was in his car and the cops maced the hell out of him?
Oh,
yeah.
They don't care. Hey, you still a nigga at the end of the day.
You're right.
Go ahead, jump down to right there, Mr. Greens.
Mr. Green body, or was only
Yeah,
23?
Mr. Green body.
Mr. Green's body was found the next morning riddled with bullets and hanging from a small pine tree along a road 2 miles from Franklinton. According to the press accounts,
Souvenir
hunters cut buttons and pieces of clothing from the body and later cut down the tree to yield grotesque keepsakes.
Yo, that's sick, bruh. Esau is sick.
Man.
Go ahead, jump down to Mr. Green was only 23.
Mr. Green was only 23 years old when lynched and had served in the army during World War I. Rather than thank for their patriotic service, black veterans returning from war during the era of racial terrorism were targeted for violence by white supremacists who worried military service would make these men leaders in the black community and render them committed to fighting for racial equality at home. One news account of Mr. Green's lynching blamed him for his own death, stating, "It seemed that he was disposed to think well of himself and was self-assertive."
Wow.
Paul Green, huh?
Salaki, you can't be an outspoken nigga.
Oh no.
You better watch your mouth. Hey, look at what they did to Kanye. Hey, when you start to become outspoken, hey, Massa go check you real quick and let you know you getting out of place, boy. You done went too far. All right. Hey, yo, we gonna yield on that, and we gonna go ahead and we gonna jump into this class or this discussion today about boxing. And really quick before we really start to dive into it, what you brothers feel about pugilism?
Hold on, say that word one more time.
What do you feel about the sport of fisticuffs? Boxing, combat sports.
Can I
MMA? In the chat, who likes watching boxing? Did y'all just watch the boxing with the brother? What was his name? He just got his head beat in too. Wilder.
Yeah,
Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder.
If you like boxing, Israel, go ahead and drop a 7 in the chat if you like boxing. I will say this: when I get to see Jake hit Esau with the go dumb punch, they do that. They do that motion like you ever seen that GIF where the little boy be like and fading back? When I see that, or I see Esau plummet to the ground like he just like he lost everything, all equilibrium, strength, and everything out of his body, I'm like, yeah, that's what I like to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love seeing that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And so you said to throw a 7 in the chat. Sister L, I see Sister L say that she used to throw the fight parties. Sister L, do you still throw fight parties? Do you still throw the fight parties? That's my question. Do you still throw the fight parties? Last one was Javante Davis and Ryan Garcia. Okay. Northern and Southern Kingdom going at it, chunking them. Right. Nazar said Khan. Kasaja said, yeah, Kasaja be in it. Right. Be like ants. Brother Gary said Jake versus Esau only Khan. Brother Zebulon, yup, Khan. Beline, Khan, yeah. So everybody, hey, we all, for the most part, fight fans, right? We love to see a good boxing match. All right, Sister L said, La-ah. All right, Khan, all praise to the Most High, right? What fight fans? I grew up boxing, right? I grew up. Who don't love to see a good fight? I remember when Mayweather fought De La Hoya. I remember when Mayweather fought Mosley. You know, I was a big Roy Jones fan back in the day. Hey,
Yeah, that's my favorite boxer right there.
Right.
That's
Favorite
mine
of all
likewise.
time. You said he yours too?
That boy Roy was bad.
Yeah. Hey, Roy was the truth. You know. Hey, and I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I did watch the Errol Spence and Bud Crawford fight. I watched that. You know, I was feeling some type of way after I watched it, but you know, I can't stunt. I've been to Captain Yahoo, the gym. It was tight. Yeah, man. I had a boxing gym. You know, huge boxing fan. So when I do this class, you gotta understand that I'm coming from the perspective of a fight fan, right? Not just a fight fan, not just a boxing fan, but someone that used to engage in the sport. I boxed for over 20 years of my life. Over 20 years of my life was dedicated to the sport of boxing. 20 years of my life, right? So let's go ahead, man. Let's get into it because I see, you know, for the most part, everybody in here is a fight fan. And so, like I said, this is going to be, you know, kind of like a, you know, gut check time, right? So, let's get this. All right, bam. So, like I said, this was me. Over 20 years of my life was spent boxing, right? The brother who I'm in that picture with, right? Northern Kingdom. So you got Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom going at it. Right? Is that lawful? Is it lawful? That's the question. Is it just an innocent sport? Right? We got gloves on.
Nah.
Right? Would you say it, Ryan?
I said I don't believe it's an innocent sport. I haven't heard of scripture or read any history that this was a custom of the Hebrew Israelites. I know that this type of sport was a heathen custom.
That part right there. What you just said is you've never read anywhere where it was our custom. And if anybody has any information, my cousin too, he had one professional fight until he went to the dark side. What you mean, Sister L? How'd he go to the dark side? Yeah, Sister Beline said, I grew up around all my uncles and cousins that boxed. It was a normal thing. It was a normal thing. Especially in for us, it's definitely growing up in the world, growing up as Gentiles, it was definitely a normal thing. All right. Chavez said, especially knowing how Esau used us. Right. And so I want y'all, I want y'all to think about that too. So in fact, Earl Spence said something to the effect talking about the money that the boxers actually get paid. Right. Even on that level, he was talking about how the governing bodies like the WBC, WBO, and all of that, how they take percentages. I think he said they get like 5% of the purse for just sanctioning their belts, right? But when you go to, of course, much lower levels of the sport, they're not making nowhere near that money. I think the most money that, in fact, because I know the most money that I was ever offered for a fight was $10,000. Now, you got to think about the time that you put in to training, the hours that you spend training. Then you still got to pay your manager. The manager get a cut. Then after the manager get a cut, you still got to pay your trainer, right? So after that, and then Uncle Sam still gonna want to take his percentage out of it, right? So it's like how much money? And again, this is at at the lower levels, because not everybody is in that 1% of the elites that's making millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
Right? It's not happening. So you got a lot of broke fighters. You got a lot of fighters who are working, multiple jobs, still training, to fight. When I was fighting, until my purses started to slightly get to a point to where I'm like, okay, I'm cool, I could quit this job. I was working for Pepsi. It was one fight. I was working for Pepsi. I was a merchandiser. I had to check in on the day of the weigh-ins. I did my route. I started my route at 3 a.m. so I could be done, so I can shoot to weigh-ins and then fight the next day. And that's a manual labor job, So, man, is it really worth it? And then the punishment that you take, that your body takes. Yo, to this day, I got equilibrium problems. It ain't like real bad, but it's noticeable. It's people that can notice, that have noticed. Like when I walk, my equilibrium is off. That's from boxing. That's 20 years of getting hit upside the head. That stuff takes a toll on people. And when you look at the boxers nowadays, a lot of them talk with, the mumble mouths. You can't really understand what they're saying. My son-in-law is a Pepsi merchandiser. Oh, kind. And that's down in Philly. She said, remember in Django, the two slaves fighting to the death for entertainment for massa. Oh, yo, you know what? And we go get into some Django too. We go get into that as well too. Right. And if brothers, if y'all got anything, man, of course y'all already know what time it is, man. We go bring it out. And
I got something.
All right, let's get it. What you got?
Just let me back off of what you said about how boxers got to pay all the managers, nutrition. You got to pay the sanctioning body that's a tax. Then you got to pay the big man that's a tax. You got Haggai 1 and verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but have not enough. Ye drink, but are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but are not. But there are none warm, and ye earn his wages to put it in the bag with hoes. It's like we can't win for losing. Like I went to work on the holidays, but you think I'm finna see all that holiday play? They extra tax any overtime, and all that holiday pay is extra overtime. So my check still finna look like a regular check.
Right, and so I think brother said this goes back to Rome, I believe. Right, so. In fact, let's read that. Let's get into this first slide. So where did the sport originate? Now, Ariah said that he don't believe that it was our custom. It was part of our custom, right? And it wasn't our custom. Where did the sport originate? Well, the earliest evidence of boxing rules. These are the boxing rules, right? It dates back to ancient Greece. And now boxing was first established as an Olympic game, right, in 688 BC. Wrestling and boxing came from Greece. Facts. So now the crazy thing about it is, so like the rules originated in Greece, right? But that being said, hold on, let me get to my next slide here. So that being said, it is believed, right? So all the scholars, came out. They say it's believed that the Egyptians actually adopted boxing after they invaded Nubia, and the Egyptians actually popularized boxing. And then after the Egyptians popularized it, then it spread to Greece and it spread to Mesopotamia And like the brother said, it spread to Rome, right? So the Egyptians, right? It originated in Egypt and then it spread. And so the Grecians, right? The Grecians are the ones who actually, put rules to it, right? And then from Greece, then Mesopotamia and to Rome, like the brother said, right? So now I got a picture here. So this is an actual picture of some Minoan youths. This picture was actually or was done around 1650 BC.
Sure.
Right? Now, who knows where the island of Crete is? Aliyah. Who knows where the island of Crete is? All right. Well, if you don't know, grab Titus 1 and 5 real quick. Let's read that. So Titus was actually in Crete. His ministry was up in Crete. All right. So let's get that.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 5. The reason I left you in Crete was that you would set in order what was unfinished and appointed elders in every town as I directed you.
All right. So Titus was left in Crete. Paul left him there. And read that for me one more time. Why was he left in Crete? So obviously our people were there. All right. Obviously there were Israelites in Crete. All right. Read that again.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 5. The reason I left you in Crete was that you would set in order what was unfinished and appoint elders in every town as I directed you.
All right. So that's why Titus was left there, right? He was in Crete to, basically finish what Paul has started, right? So now the ancient Olympic Games, let's get into it. All right, the ancient Olympic Games were basically, Salakia, I went too far. All right, so the Olympic Games were, of course, they were for sport, they were social, and ultimately they were the cultural highlight of ancient Greek for just about 12 centuries. Now, the games took place every year, 4 years from 776 BC to at least 393 BC. Now, these dates are all important. Okay. These known as the first WWF wrestlers, and it was all good. All right, so I want y'all to remember these dates, all right, because these dates are really important. And I'm going to come back to the question that I'm about to ask right now. You guys can look it up. You can check. I'm going to give you the answer. But when were the book of the Maccabees written? All right, that's a question. You guys can look that up now to try to find the answer. But anyway, so the Greek games took place every 4 years from 776 BC to at least 393 BC. Now, the games were a religious festival at heart, right? The Olympic Games were a religious festival at heart. They were an excuse for the Greeks from all over. We already know how massive the Greek Empire was, but it was an excuse from the Greeks from all over to come together. The source that I was reading, it said for a riotous barbecue, right? Now, this is important also. On the middle day of the festival, they sacrificed or they slaughtered a large number of cows in honor of Zeus, right? We all know who Zeus is. Zeus was a Greek god, right? Now, for the first 250 plus years, the games were held at the sanctuary of Olympia, and that area or that sanctuary had an altar to Zeus, right? Moving this, all right. Yaquab says search shows Maccabees written around 100 BC. All right, Khan. And so now again, so remember, World Without End says around 137 BC. Khan, between 150 and 100 BC. All right, all praise to the Most High. All right, so again, so our people were there. Our people had been already pretty much accustomed to this, right? When we read in the Maccabees, what do we read? We read that it was unlawful for a man to call himself a Jew. He had to call himself a Greek. So, you know, they were called Grecians. What is a Grecian? Right? Anybody got their Bible dictionary? Somebody grab, look up Grecian for me real quick.
I got you. Give me a second. I'll grab it.
All right, Con. All right. While he get that, we're gonna go ahead and move right along. So this right here is a depiction from ancient Greece. This is actually in a British museum. All right, it's around 336 BC. What do you see? You see two dudes, and what they don't got no clothes on. Right, the dudes are naked on this base or whatever this is, right? But they chunking them. They got their hands wrapped and they chunking them. Right, that's from around 336 BC. You got that definition, Boaz?
Kind of one in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It says Greece, Grecia, Grecians. Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes. Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race.
Mm-hmm.
It shows the book of Acts 16:1, 18:4, and probably John. But the word may be used to indicate non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens. Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews. So our people were there. Oh, no lie. They ain't saying this is us, but I'm just saying that we were there. Right? Our people were there. And our people were partaking in these festivals. Right? We're going to read that also. But moving on. So real quick, a couple of insights about the Olympic Games. And Knox said it, you know, that they did everything naked. Or Captain Jonathan said the Greek freaks. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. I want y'all to look at this, right? First of all the athletes competed naked. That's just nasty as hell. So Knox said that wrestling came from the Greeks, and it did, right? So you have wrestlers. This right here is called pancration. All right. What was pancration? Pancration was a sort of mixed martial art which combined boxing and wrestling. So MMA, right? So what do we have today? We have, of course, we have wrestling, we have boxing, and we have MMA. All of this came from the Greeks. Right? Now watch this. Boxers were urged to avoid attacking the on-display male genitals. Right? Shamaya, are you able to see that? Is it coming up?
Yeah. Hold on, let me.
What's happening here?
Man. Yeah. Some Esau do.
All right. Oh, my bad. I went to the next slide by mistake. My fault, Salakia. But that is a slide. We're gonna look at that next. Right. Pick up right where it says there were no points.
There were no points, time limits, and no weight classification in boxing. Keep going.
Con.
Athletes in combat sports had to indicate their surrender by raising their index finger. At times, they died before they could do this. Boxers who could not be separated could opt for kill max, a system whereby one fighter was granted a free hit and then vice versa. A toss of a coin decided who went first.
Now, don't they got that stupid ass sport today where
Slap
they
boxing.
smacking each other in the face?
Yeah, that slap
Man.
boxing.
I would never in my life just allow somebody to smack me. What
Yeah.
sense does that make?
And you just take it. Like,
And you just take it. You
So
just
you-
alternating slapping each other.
yeah. So if you don't get knocked out, then it's my turn.
All right, it's crazy what Captain Jan just said. With all this gay stuff and transgenderism, it's really a return to Greek culture. That's a fact. That's where it's headed back to, and that's why you can see the push for pedophilia. That's what they trying to get back to.
Yeah.
Now, let's hit that next slide. So you can see, like, again, everything they did, everything naked. They never
So,
had
like,
any
yeah.
clothes on.
Now they talking about you had to avoid the genitalia. How the hell do you avoid genitalia?
Especially wrestling.
Wait a minute. The third picture, my man literally got the man on his back. Like,
Yeah, it's stuff all on his back.
yeah, man, just all kinds of juice and whatever. Like, what's happening? What's this word?
He said juice.
What is this? What is this word? Pancreation? What is that?
That's
What is-
that form of MMA.
That's a form of MMA. Oh, okay. So that's what's going on in the second picture, possibly, right? Or
Right.
is it the
The
first-
third picture is the wrestling.
Wrestling. Yeah. I
Bruh. All right. So now, real quick. So now the customs of the heathens, right? Because we just pointed out that all of this basically originated with the Greeks. So let's get the Maccabees.
Oh.
Let's get the Maccabees. Let's get first Maccabees. And so from my research, I have found that the books of the Maccabees were written between 175 BC and 134 BC. That's from my research, but you know, I've seen other places where we get the dates that you guys posted up in the chat also, right?
Mm.
So, and again, Khan and not got the etymology of gymnasium.
Oh no.
Let's get the etymology. Let's go ahead and bring that up. But let's read this in the Maccabees first, real quick. Right. So again, the first Olympic Games were in 774 BC. Right. So our people were there. All right. And so this is why what we're about to read is really important. All right, let's get that.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137 year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Mm-hmm.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise.
They did what?
They built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
Right. So these customs, right, that we partake in today, these are not our customs. Wrestling, that's not our custom. We got all of this from the Greeks. Boxing, that's not our custom. We got that from the Greeks. And they say that there was certain wicked men who went and persuaded many.
Right.
Right. Now remember that the whole Olympics, again, at the heart of the Olympics, it was a religious festival. They had an altar dedicated to Zeus. What would they give away? They would give away the wreaths to the winners of the events. This was a religious, basically, might as well just call it an orgy, man.
Yeah.
Might as well just say it.
Yes.
I mean, even though it may not have been no sticking taking place right there during the sporting event, but what you think went on after? What you think happened after all of this was done?
The orgies you were talking about,
Right. But let's go ahead and let's get that in the etymology of gymnasium. Knock, if you can go ahead and bring that up. Let's look at that. Can y'all read that? Diddy parties. That's right.
hold on.
And no, we're not saying that you can't go to the gym. That's definitely not what I'm saying. Right? I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the customs, especially these sporting events or combat events. I don't want to say sporting events, because then someone's going to take my words and like, oh, he's saying that we can't even. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these combat sports, first of all, we got to look at where they came from, where they originated. They originated with our oppressors. Right? That's where they originated. Right? Somebody read that real quick.
Where the highlighted portion is? Well, I'm gonna start right before it. To exercise or train, literally or figuratively, literally to train naked.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yo, that's
crazy. Literally to train naked.
And they leave out the little boys they had too.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what's the purpose behind that? Like, outside of just pure wickedness, like, what benefit did you gain from training naked? Like, it's like.
But you gotta think, man. They on a whole different. They mind is different, man.
Yo.
They like that gay stuff.
They're the border of wickedness.
I mean, it did come from the caves, so who knows how they dressed it themselves up in them caves.
Salakia Adawan. You see this in the scripture, world without end drop. It says, you know, they built a place of exercise and made them wear a hat. Where the rest of their clothes at? Like,
right.
What's going on?
Right. So let's go back into that. All right. So boom. Let's get to this next one. All right. So I just wanted to bring we need to hit the history so we can see where these come from. Right? Where the sport, so-called boxing, MMA, wrestling, where they originate from. Right? Now, this is a quote by Frederick Douglass. And this is going to go into what you guys was putting in the chat earlier when you was talking about Django. So, like, a lot of people they'll try to come out and say, "Oh, Django was a fictitious movie, and it was no truth to it." There was a lot of truth to that. Esau just don't want to admit to a lot of the wickedness that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like Esau don't like to come out and say that they used our babies for gator bait.
Right.
Esau don't want to tell you that. I never learned that in school when I learned about the whole civil rights movement and I learned about slavery. I never learned about that. I never learned about them using our babies as gator bait. I never learned about how they would use the hair from the slaves to put in their furniture.
Right.
Or chairs. Right? They never taught us about that. You know, it's so much in the history that Esau don't want to reveal to us, because what is history? History is, and I'm sure y'all done heard it, his story.
Right.
So read that quote by Douglas real quick.
Okay. Wrestling and boxing. Okay.
Wrestling and boxing for sport, like festivals around holidays, were among the most effective means in the hands of the slaveholders in keeping down the spirit of insurrection. Frederick Douglass.
Right. So they use boxing and wrestling, right, to help to keep down the spirit of insurrection. Mm-hmm. So when we watch movies like Django, in fact, because of course, y'all already know what we got to do. Y'all already know. Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
Oh, yeah. That's facts.
What's facts?
Well, I don't want y'all stop drop. You know what I'm saying? That game at the fair. So the game at the fair, basically, where you were like, if I'm correct, he talking about the one game where it's like, is that the one? I thought it was the one where it's like they sitting in the somebody be sitting in the seat to get dropped in the water, and then they got the person's head that you're supposed to throw balls at or whatever like that. And it's called
hit the nigga baby game at the fair. Come on.
I think that's the one, or it might be another one, because I'm like, they got so many, like, it's how you know Esau's sick, man. You know what I'm saying? They got so many outlandishly wild stuff that they do. It's just crazy, for real.
Yeah.
All right, fair use. Fair use. This is just for teaching purposes. Teaching purposes. So if y'all haven't seen the movie Django, go watch the movie. It's a pretty good movie. I actually like the movie Django. I love the end. Pretty good movie though.
You either hit him or you ain't. Mételo con la espalda al tapeto. La espalda al tapeto, you. Big Fred, come on. Turn him around. Use your strength. Come on now. Use your strength. There you go. Look at that. Do what I told you. There you go. Do what I told you. Get back, boy. Grab the bag. Oh, no.
All right. So having brothers, fight brothers. The slave. I don't like this part though. Oh yeah, Khan. That's one of my favorite movies, no lie. Yeah, Khan. I definitely don't like that part neither. You know what other part of the movie I don't like? I don't like when they feed the brother to the dogs.
Oh yeah.
Right. I don't like that part neither. But in fact, I was gonna get that clip, but I ain't gonna get it. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, I got something. And this is from the Willie Lynch letter. So just like in the movie, he says something like, Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, but it is necessary your slaves trust and depend on us. The must love, respect, or they must love, respect, and trust only us. So it's like this is a method. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing, and what I don't want to bring it out, like this method and what they doing, what they got going on. Willie Lynch said, if you use these methods correctly, you will be able to have them subservient in your control for hundreds of years. And it's effective.
Right. He said for over 300 years.
Yeah, it's been over.
He said for over 300 years.
Passed that long time ago.
And it's only getting worse.
And it's only getting worse.
Facts.
Hey, because Deuteronomy 28 says until they are destroyed. We have been destroyed. Our people are destroyed, right? But again, when we go back into the history and we look at what they did, right? We look at where these games come from, where things like boxing come from, where we look at things like wrestling, where that comes from, and then we look at the facts that our people were forced to do it. And like Captain Aliyah said, Adawan said, is that most of the times it was to the death. And now they'll try to come out and say, oh, that's not true. I've got some facts here that is undeniably true. These are facts. These are actual facts of what they did to our people. But now we do it willingly, because now they throw a couple of dollars at brothers, and now they get you to beat your heads in for willingly. Right. You're not doing it because out of force no more. And then they have the weigh-ins. You got brothers at a weigh-in, mean mugging one another. Talking crazy. I don't want to cuss, but y'all know.
Yeah.
Man, so hold on. I'm gonna play this one here real quick because I want the wickedness of Esau. And people, like I said, people are trying to say, oh, like this didn't happen. It's not true. But they hide things in plain sight. They put the truth in plain sight. And this white boy, he played the hell out of this part. And y'all thought that he did a great job. And what's that? The Titanic? No, this fool, and I ain't even gonna say he played a hell of a part, because this might be who he really is at the end of the day.
Yeah, it don't take much to be yourself.
Right. I'm always suspect when I see white people play racist roles.
Right.
I'm like, how much of that is acting and how much of it is real?
Right.
For real.
Like it before you play this though, Jamie Foxx had an interview where he said that he didn't want to use the N-word, but was it him or Samuel Jackson?
Samuel.
One of them, and it was Samuel Jackson that basically gave him the black pass to use the word. But I kind of respect him for not wanting to use the word, but you are who your ancestor is regardless.
That's facts.
Stone Cipher. That Marshall. Stone Cipher. That Marshall and the bitches send D'Artagnan to nigga heaven.
It didn't catch the part that I wanted it to catch. The part that I wanted it to catch is when the brother was talking about he couldn't fight no more. How he didn't have it in him no more. He was talking about how many fights he tried to run away and they caught him. And when they caught him, he was like, man, why you try to run off? I want to try to see if I can get that part. But anyway, yeah. I don't necessarily want to see the dog eat the brother up, man. I just wanted to get that one part. But just to show you, like, the ruthlessness of what they did to us. And now I've got an article here that I'm going to bring up. Look at this article. Right, so this is an actual. Oh, god damn it! Hold on, Salakia. All right, right here. All right. So this article, now this is a peer-reviewed article. Right. This ain't just something that somebody wrote, made up. No, this is peer-reviewed literature. Okay, and there's tons more sources that you can go to and read on nigga fighting, right? How they put us against each other in slavery.
Right.
I'm gonna read this real quick. Fights involving bare knuckles were arranged by the slave owners for their physically imposing slaves on the same farm to determine who was the strongest. Those who endure and beat the other enslaved are pitted against champions of the other plantations. Now, there was big money in this, right? Can y'all see the article that I got on the side of that? Can you make that out? Or is the writing too little?
You got it. One.
Yeah, it's a little small.
Boy, you said you could see it.
Wow.
I can read it though.
Oh, okay, Con.
It's small, but I can read it.
Con, all praises. Let's get that.
To see who was the best of the plantation in slave fighting contest and masculinity in the antebellum plantation South. Formerly enslaved with about 75 others on a cotton plantation in Jackson County, Alabama, John Finley recalled one of the few amusements he and his fellow slaves shared in their days of bondage. For enjoyments, remembered Finley. What is that?
This is
broken Weenus?
English.
Weenus, I guess Weenus have the co and Husking and the nigger fights. Finley delighted in the recollection of the slave fights he witnessed growing up in antebellum Alabama, noting that although the fights were mofo D white folks.
Mofo D white. He's saying mofo D white folks.
Okay, mofo D white folks.
Yeah.
Enjoyment. The slaves were also loath to see it. According to Finley, the masters of different plantations matched their slaves by size and then bet on them. Finley master had one slave who weighed 150 pounds. And
hold on, Salakia, real quick. So what did that sound like? Right?
Boxing?
Prize fighting.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. That's literally boxing. I got my boy. I bet my boy can beat your boy. Let's bet on it. How much you got? Dog fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the niggas weren't seeing no part of that money.
Right.
Well, some of them was. I take that back. For the most part, if the brother was handling his business, y'all seen what's that movie? Not the movie, but the show Roots, where you had Chicken George, and Chicken George was betting, was fighting the chickens, and
oh yeah, okay,
right. And his owner was like, "Man, I'll give you some." He was giving him some of the winnings.
Yeah.
Right. He's just giving them the chump change of the winnings.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what this is, man. I mean, this is basically boxing. Right. You get your champion and I'll put him up against my champion. And we go bet. And we go see who wins. Hey, so what you saw in Django, that was truth behind that. Don't let these Edomites tell you, oh, that didn't happen. No, that happened. And now we watch it willingly. We are entertained by it. We are entertained to watch two brothers get inside a ring and beat the shit out of each other. That's entertainment. That's so fun to see. Why do you want to see one of your brothers get his ribs broke, get his nose broke, get knocked out, unconscious, take physical abuse. We like watching that now. Where did we learn that from? Again, that was not our custom. We learned all of this from these Edomites. And now we spend money, and that money that we're spending, it's primarily going to the pockets of the Edomites. Yes, the fighters, yes, they get some money. At the elite level, they are getting money. But how many boxers do you see broke who were on the elite levels? How many boxers do you see that had to come back and fight well past their prime in an older age because they don't got no money? George Foreman. When George Foreman came out of retirement, did y'all see that movie George?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Nice, yeah.
George Foreman came out of retirement because he ain't had no money. Now, granted, he got robbed
by a white man.
The person who he trusted with his money, did some shady stuff, and he ended up losing all of his. He ended up losing all of his money, but he had to come out of retirement at his old age to fight again to get some money. The fighters are not taken care of. There's no pensions. I fought professional for 7 years. Do you think I got anything from that? It's fighters who fought, of course, for way longer than I did. 15, 20 years. Do they got anything that they get from it? You know how many old-time fighters that I met that I've been around? There was this one coach, this one trainer when I boxed in Vallejo. His name was Mr. Charlie. Old dude. Boxed, he boxed Archie Moore. If y'all know who Archie Moore is.
Okay, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Charlie had fought Archie Moore, right? But in his old age, he had nothing. He didn't have no car. He was living in a shack. He had nothing to show for all of the years that he climbed through those ropes and got his head beat in. Captain Johnson said, I believe they did something to Ali. Nobody won't convince me. Facts. Facts. Right? So, again, don't think for 1 minute that Django is a fictional movie. That's based on truth.
Right.
All right. Now, I got here. Who is Thomas Molyneux? Molyneux. That's a French name or Creole name or whatever it is. Right? Thomas Molyneux. Now, this is what I was saying to or alluding to as far as some of the slaves did get money for what they was doing. Right? So, let's find out who Thomas Molyneux was. All right. Can y'all somebody read that up?
Thomas Molyneux, March 23rd, 1784, August 4th, 1818. Bare knuckle boxer, born in slavery in Virginia.
Right.
In one account, he boxed with other slaves to entertain plantation owners and was granted his freedom and $500 after winning a fight on which the son of the plantation owner had staked $100,000.
Now I'm going to say, if you read right here, it says, and this is what the researchers did. This is something that they said. I'll just read it real quick. It says, while some of these accounts may be based on truth, they cannot be substantiated, and may have been romanticized to some extent, right? So maybe it wasn't for $100,000, all right? Because again, this is 1784, it's 1818. It might have been the equivalent of what $100,000 is today, right? But nevertheless, that slave owner put big money on his nigga. He put big money on his nigga to win the fight. And so Tom Molyneux is a true life person. You can look him up. You can do your research on him. When you do your research on him, he's going to come back as a boxer, as an American boxer. He actually fought, but he was a brother that was born into slavery. He ended up winning his freedom or purchasing his freedom through fighting, right? So just like in the movie or in the series Roots, we had Chicken George who was doing the cockfighting and got sold off to Europe, and he eventually got his freedom. Well, Tom got his freedom just like that, but from actually knuckling up, throwing hands, right? So you can do your research on Tom. Now, yeah. So now I want y'all to picture that, because there ain't too much nothing different than what's going on today. He got paid $500 while the plantation owner got $100,000. What percentage is that? What percent is that?
That's barely 0.5. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So the brothers today, when you look at what the promoters are bringing in, what the promoters are doing, the fighters aren't getting that. But we're supporting it. Our brothers are doing it. Now, again, I'm coming from the standpoint as someone who used to fight. Coming from that standpoint. And we all of us in here said that, right, he died at 34. Right? He died at 34. Young. I'm glad, man. You know, we are in the information age, man. If anybody wants to stay ignorant, they're ignorant by choice. Right? They're ignorant by choice. But so somebody grab Ecclesiastes 7:16 real quick. Because this is what a lot of people gonna say. They say you're doing too much. It's just boxing. It's only boxing. You're doing too much. Calm down. It's just fun. They not fighting for real. How they not fighting for real? Those is real hits.
Facts.
Read that.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise.
Right.
Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
That's what they'll say. They say, oh, you being over righteous, brother. You being over righteous. It's not in the law. The law don't say that we can't box. Some have died in the ring. Thank you, Knock. And Brian, that's right.
I was going to bring that out.
We doing just enough. In fact, no, I'm gonna say we not doing enough. We not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because too many of our brothers and sisters still love that watch they brothers and they sisters now climb into a ring and try to kill each other. And then some people say, oh, they're not really trying to kill each other. It's all love afterwards.
Hmm.
You know, afterwards, they giving each other hugs. Right? It's just a sport. That's what they say. It's just a sport. For over 20 years of my life, that's how I looked at it. Oh, it's just a sport. Y'all know who this Elamite is I'm standing next to?
Yeah, ain't that and what his name?
Amir
Dude with the fast
Khan.
hands.
Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucker, man, that boy was quick as shit. I ain't gonna lie, that boy hand speed was something terrible. But anyway, Dorothy Brand said, now the women have to fight transgender men in the ring. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Now, that's crazy.
Right? And that is y'all seen the one MMA where they got the transgender dude fighting the women?
He beat on that. Yeah, he beat on that girl.
I saw a transgender dude fight this woman and it was like a judo match, and she whooped his ass.
Oh, watch this. Let's get this.
How do I expect a fight to end? In a bloodbath. What do I think about my opponent, Erica Newsom? She's a pretty strong fighter. I don't think she has the technique to beat me, so I'm just going to take it to her and move on with this fight.
Let's welcome her opponent to the cage, Erica Newsom.
I feel really well. I've been training really hard for this opportunity for a long time.
And look at this girl. I mean,
Physical specimen, man. Wow.
great shape. She's solid. She's tough. And she's
But
ready
she's
to go.
still a woman.
She doesn't want Fallon taking home that
She's
$20,000.
solid. She's tough, but she's still a woman.
Fighters.
These girls are
Fighting
getting
a
right
whole
into
dude.
it. Fox.
Oh,
That's it.
oh,
Fallon.
Jesus.
Holy cow. Game over. Wow. And a quick finish to our first women's $20,000 championship tournament fight.
Now, you mean to tell me that it's nothing wrong with that? I mean, well, of course we know there's something wrong with that because this is a goddamn dude fighting a woman.
What is going on?
Right? Go ahead.
What? I'm just like, you can see this whole facial structure. Like that's a man.
That's a dude.
Like in the shoulders and everything, and it's like we approve of this, and they identifying him as a woman.
You seen her punches had no effect. The punches that she was able to land had no effect on this man.
No effect. Like,
I thought this was the one where that dude MMA fight fought a girl and like broke her face or something.
Oh yeah,
in the
that
first
was that
round.
one.
Like that's crazy.
like, bro, all you saying is you wanted to dress up like a chick and beat on women because that's what you like to do.
That's domestic violence.
Right.
Decepticons.
More than meets the eye. Hey, for real, for real. You know, the one thing, if they were doing it naked, man, never mind. I'm just gonna drop that.
Oh.
Hey, not bring up your video. Not bring up your video. Not got one of Clarissa Shields. Y'all know who Clarissa Shields is?
Yes, we do. The GWOAT.
All right.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yes. Oh.
Night night.
Oh. Yes. Oh.
A woman.
You want to use bigger gloves and you want to use one hand. Okay, get your stupid ass in there and use one hand so I can show you that you would have wished you would at least use two. You have a better chance at using two.
Who's the baddest man you ever whooped? Could you even tell her? You're not trying to put anyone.
I don't even consider sparring like whooping guys because sparring, I'm working on certain things, they're working on certain things, and guys are like, I'm like so respectful of the guys. Like I done dropped guys in sparring.
That was my next question.
I'd have been dropped in sparring once by a guy.
He got you to the body or what?
Nah, I ain't never been dropped to the body. No, I ain't no fucking punk. I got caught. No, but the guy I sparred, He was like a little Russian hater. He took the patent out of his gloves. I had whooped his ass on a Monday, and his coach wanted to spar again on Thursday. But he caught me, but he didn't have no patent in his gloves. He know exactly who he is.
Damn.
Exactly.
Damn.
So that's what I'm saying. So it get kind of serious when you sparring against these guys and you embarrassing them. So where they gotta take the patent out their gloves. And this happened to me in 2018, right before I fought against Hannah Gabriel the first time.
What happened to him before he left the gym?
Salakia, yo. It wasn't the padding that got taken out. You got hit with man strength. That's what it was. It felt like the padding got taken out. Like, why? Like, a man ain't gotta take the padding. Like, if anything, in most situations, I ain't even going front. I do not condone this. You know what I'm saying? I know people who like have had physical domestic violence situations with their females, and when it started off, they started off with the simple stuff where they like, I'm gonna hit you with the pillow. And the woman got mad and said, no, hit me like a man. I heard that dumb nonsense before. I heard it before. And I'm looking like, that's what she said? Like you done lost your damn mind or something like that. Like that's what you really want? For real? That's what you thinking about? Come on now. He took the padding out his gloves. If he took the padding out the gloves, that punch wouldn't have sounded like the way that it did. And
you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy is they would have checked the gloves beforehand, especially with it being Clarissa Shields
being a female.
This dude, her coach would have already looked at homeboy's gloves,
right?
You know, even at the level where I was at sparring, cats didn't just get in there with no any kind of glove on. I mean, you couldn't even get into the ring with Velcro gloves. If you have Velcro, no, take those off. You gotta put on some lace ups. So that's bogus. She all the way bogus for that excuse, talking about, oh, he took the patent out of his gloves. No, first of all, like Boaz said, you got hit by a man. Is no reason a woman should be fighting a man. Thanks. Point blank, period. And then she trying to call out Keith Thurman.
I was just gonna say that. She's playing a dangerous game.
Man,
please.
All right. Now I got one more here that I want to show, and this is in MMA. Because the whole question is boxing, is MMA, is it lawful? Should we be doing it? Right? So let's look at this here real quick. This is a brutal knee.
Punching opportunity. What do you lose out of the playbook after taking a big liver shot like that? If you can even stay in the fight.
I mean, it's hard to keep your right hand up. B, it's very hard to move. C, it's hard to breathe. So just about everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
Stewart runs into the jump knee, and it's over. Did the hype train just pick up speed? Because it didn't derail. Wow. Another strike thrown by Michael Venom Page. From the moment the liver shot landed, the clock was ticking on Cyborg Santos. He took a chance and paid the big price.
And the way it happened, only MVP. Look at the liver shot that hurt him. Right here, look at this. Is slow motion, folks. Slow motion, and that's fast. Then here, look at this lunging shot.
Now, I don't know if y'all heard it, but when he did that knee, you heard the crack, and I was hoping this one would have showed the after effects of how he looked. I ain't gonna lie, that was the best celebration of UFC. My favorite part is I saw that fight live. We didn't need to be doing that to our own people, though. Yes, his skull was cracked, and that's actually what I'm trying to bring up. I'm trying to show the picture of what his head looked like after. In fact, I think this is it right here. Let me
Right, mangled, man. Right, all jacked up for real.
The most gruesome injuries ever seen. During the closing moments of the second round, Page caught Cyborg with a vicious flying knee, earning a sensational knockout win.
Everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
After the knee landed, Santos fell to the ground, holding his head in clear agony. Unfortunately, the impact ended up fracturing his skull, and he required 7-hour surgery to repair the damage.
Basically, I had fractured his skull. So his skull had kind of concaved. And even like the doctor was saying, that's the kind of stuff you'd see in like a car accident. You wouldn't see it in that's very rare to see in a fight.
Although he managed to make a full recovery, the injury caused him to retire from the sport for good. In July of 2016, Evangelista Cyborg Santos faced off against Mike.
So this brother now what if that brother died from that? And like it's already been said, it's been numerous people that have died in the ring. Numerous brothers done died in the ring. Right? I don't want, oh yeah, he almost killed that man. But he was just in the sport. Now, according to the law, what's supposed to happen if you kill a man?
Put to death.
You're supposed to be put to death.
Yeah.
It's impossible for us to engage in these sports.
It ain't no place of refuge right now.
It ain't no place of refuge.
Salakia, recently it was a boxer, Ephraimite, Sabril Matias. Last year, he was in a boxing match with an Issacharite, and he got him out of there in the 11th round. But when he was walking, the Issacharite was walking back to the locker room, he just collapsed and never woke up again.
See? All right. So because let's get these.
This is the book of Genesis.
I get Psalms.
I got Genesis.
Chronicles.
Ready, Cap?
Yup. Come on, let's get it.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 14 and verse 14. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed and trained servants born in his own house. He armed his own servants born in his own house.
His trained servants.
Saki, his trained servants born in his own house.
Right. Hey, so
300.
What a lot of brothers will say is, "Oh man, so what are you saying that we can't train?" No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with training, man. I'll get out, I hit my heavy bag, I still hit the mitts, you know. I still train. What I'm saying is, and again, you got to remember, these are called combat sports. This is a combat sport where at the end of the day, you can die from this.
Mm-hmm.
When you step through those ropes, there's a possibility that you will not leave that ring alive. When you get into that cage, there's a possibility that you will not leave out of there alive. And even if you do, like the story that Araya just mentioned, where the brother was walking back to his dressing room and he collapsed and died. The head is not meant to take trauma like that. Our bodies are not made to take that type of trauma.
Right.
On a routine basis.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, but you got to think, Cap, they look at us as superhumans.
Go ahead, Araya, what you say? I
said they look at us as superhumans. You know, we can take 1,000 bullets. You know, they can put experiments on us without anesthesia. You know, we 3/5 of humans, so we superhumans to them. So it's wild.
3/5 of human. It's like you 3/5 a human, but at the same time, a superhuman you want to experiment on and do extremities to, but only 3/5 a human. Okay.
Right. Let's get read that in Psalms 144 and 1.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 144 and 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
Right. Hey, so brother asked this, or I had posted this. Read that one more time.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
Right. The Lord teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So does that mean that we should be able to engage in these combat sports? You know, and I posed this question. He said, are we supposed to be warring against our own people? At the end of the day, I don't care how you try to say, oh, it's the sport, it is, you know, it's nothing but love afterwards. I don't care about none of that. Going into the fight, you are not thinking happy thoughts about the brother, about the sister that you're about to fight with. Because that person is coming to hurt you. At the end of the day, that person is coming to basically take food out your mouth, out your family's mouth, because if you don't get that win, how marketable are you going to be going forward? Especially in boxing. A loss in MMA ain't as detrimental as it is in boxing. Nowadays in boxing, everybody want to be undefeated. All thanks to Floyd Mayweather. Don't nobody want to get a loss on their record. Let's grab the precept that Officer Yawasop got. Don't nobody want to take that loss. So at the end of the day, when you climbing into that ring and you finna face somebody that's going to potentially take money out of your pocket, are you thinking good thoughts about them? No, you're not. You're not thinking this is my brother that I love. You're not looking at that man like he was tender. What the precept in Deuteronomy said, the man that was tender among you or very delicate, his eye shall become evil toward his brother. Right? You're not looking at that brother as being delicate. You got an evil eye towards that brother.
Right.
I gotta hurt this man. This man is trying to hurt me. It become kill or be killed. That's the mindset. That's the thought process. Kill or be killed. I'm not gonna get caught lacking in here. Read what Yawasop put.
Okay. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 30. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm.
Hey, that man ain't done no harm to you. Why are you in the ring fighting him?
Right.
Why are you in the cage fighting him? Oh, because Esau's throwing some dollars at you. So now use a trick. You use a trick now. Because Esau's tossing some dollars to you. Now you finna go fight your brother. For money that ain't worth the paper that is printed on.
Thanks.
Right? Let's get that in grab that First Chronicles.
It's the book of First Chronicles, chapter 12 and verse 38. It says, all these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel. Right. And all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king.
All right, so like it. So I really just wanted this to show that, yes, we have men of war. So when training, I'm not by any means saying like, oh, brothers can't train or brothers can't do jujitsu, or brothers can't do boxing or training boxing or any of these other martial arts. That's not what I'm saying. Right? In fact, grab Joel 3 and 9 real quick.
This is
It's
the book of Joel.
You got it.
I got it. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, in verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Now, Salakia. So now, real quick. So it says the mighty men, right? The men of war. So Israel always had men of war, right? Men who were ready to go out and do battle. Boxing ain't doing battle. And then again, if you fighting one of in your own nation, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? And why are we cheering this on? Why is this okay? Is it okay to watch a sister twerk? Of course it's not. When we aired the video of the little kids at the party holding the dollars, holding stacks of dollars and holding guns in their hand, that wasn't okay. Why do we pick and choose what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, when all of it across the board should not be acceptable? The reason why this is okay is because our flesh likes that. We're entertained by that. We're amused by that. Now you can get another brother that's going to sit up there and say, "Oh man, there's nothing wrong with a woman wearing a dress that's cleaving to her body." Or you can get a brother that says nothing wrong with a woman wearing pants. Or you can find a brother that's going to say, "Oh, it's nothing wrong with." Hey, what was that R. Kelly song? I don't see nothing wrong. Sorry, my bad.
Bump and grind.
This the second Wednesday you don't start singing.
Hey, but the whole point is, though, for real, the whole point is we got to come out of this Gentile mindset when these wasn't our customs, and we really have to become that set apart nation where it's not entertainment to watch two of our brothers fight each other. So they both bloody, they both leaking. After the fight, they both got to go to the hospital. That's not okay.
Right.
Right. And I wanted to grab this one real quick too, because even with training, right? Even with training, let's real quick get that 1 Samuel, because what did David do when he was preparing before he went and fought Goliath? What was David? Was David a man of war? Was David out there with the soldiers? No, David was herding sheep. He was tending to the flock. But read that real quick.
It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 36. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he has defied.
Go up right above that. Get 35.
Verse 35. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he has defiled the armies of the living God.
Right. Hey, David wasn't wasn't out there fighting against his brothers. He wasn't out there training with his brothers. Hey, David was out there, and David got his training from fighting goddamn lions and bears. Right? But my whole point was that there's nothing wrong with working out. And this goes back to what the brother asked earlier about going to the gym, man. There's nothing wrong with going to the gym. It's nothing wrong with lifting weights. There's nothing wrong with, man, doing your calisthenics, doing your push-ups, your sit-ups, man, your burpees. It's nothing wrong with getting on the speed bag. It's nothing wrong with getting on the heavy bag. It's nothing wrong with that. Man, I'll go so far as to say even like light sparring is okay. But that competitive fighting, we're not supposed to be doing that, Israel. We're not supposed to be doing that. I want to get give me Genesis 9:6. I want to start there first.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man.
Right. Hey, so now we can say like, oh yeah, that's talking about killing a man. If you kill a man, then you got to be killed. But I will go one step further. I take it one step further and say that's not just necessarily putting that man to death, because the scriptures go further and it doubles down on if you kill a man. Right? The scriptures go and double down on, specifically say if you kill a man, if you strike a man and he die. Right? But we made in the image of the Most High. Are you thinking about, man, this brother's in the image of the Most High when you putting your hands on him, when you're in the ring fighting, when you're in the ring and you just did a flying knee kick and dented this brother's forehead in and cracked his whole skull?
Destroyed it.
Right? Man, done. And like Adawan Yakim, y'all just put about Saul being after David. Did David ever put his hands on Saul? David never put his hands on Saul. Saul threw a whole javelin at this man. He threw it so hard it stuck in the wall. Yo, man, just being keeping it 100, I feel some type of way a brother just threw a javelin at me.
Right.
Nah, bro. King or no king. But Saul threw a whole javelin at David so hard it stuck in the wall. Did David ever do anything to him? When David had the opportunity to kill Saul, did he kill him? No. He didn't touch him. But yet nowadays we climbing in rings and don't have no problem putting our hands on our brother. Where's the brotherly love? Where's the, hey man, I know my brother got to go back home to his family. I know he got daughters. I know he got a son. And you know what's crazy? Is they family be in the arena watching. And when they do the camera, then when they hit the crowd and they do that purposely, they'll put the camera right on the wife of the fighter who getting beat up. And she be sitting there looking sad as hell. Got tears in her eyes. Like, stop the fight. And they do that purposely, but yet we don't have no problem. We still think it's okay. We still think it's okay to watch a brother get pummeled in the ring, to be leaning against the rope. And now the nigga got the heart of a fighter, so he's not so he's not trying to quit. He don't want to go out like no punk. You know, like what Clarissa said. She said, "I ain't no punk." Right? Because the hood done taught us that. We done got that from the streets. I ain't no punk. I ain't going out.
Like
So instead of what'd you say?
I said Slocky, they call it going out on their shield.
Going out on the shield.
Which is pride.
That's all it is. You go sit there and you go take a beating rather than take a knee. And then, hey, talking about that Ryan Garcia and Tank fight, when Garcia took that knee, everybody wanted to get on him. Talking about he quit. Oh, he quit. First of all, I bet you any one of them niggas that was sitting up there talking about he quit, they ain't never got hit with a liver shot and don't know what that feel like.
Right. It's like you.
Yup.
Can't that mess you up so bad to where it's like you urinate blood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a delayed reaction. It's not even voluntary. I got hit with a liver shot once, sparring. And it's seriously a delayed reaction like that. I caught it and like, okay, I'm good, and took a step to the left and just went down on the knee. I had never felt nothing like that before. It literally is a delayed reaction like that. So people think like, oh well, he was still standing up and he took a step afterwards. No, that's what happens when you get caught like that. But anyway, the whole point was, here it is, Ryan Garcia took a knee, and instead of people having compassion, like, oh well, damn, he caught a good shot. Hey, yeah, go ahead, take a knee, bro. Come back and fight another day. Nah, they getting on his helmet about it. So where? I mean, now I'm asking, like, for real, where's the love at? Is that love? Is that loving your brother?
Nope, because money was involved.
It's not rhetorical. I'm being 100% right now. Is that loving your brother? Watching your brother get his ass whooped in the ring or in a cage, or your sister, because the women are fighting out too. Because women feel like nowadays that they can do anything that a man can do. And now they getting bold to the point to where now they trying to call out men. Like you're on the same playing field as a man. I don't care how tough of a chick you think you are. You cannot beat up no man. Said World Star show our people going in on each other with handguns, etc. And that's the crave now. Everybody want to pull out their phones. Everybody want a video. Everybody want to talk about it. But don't nobody want to stand up and talk about what's right. Don't nobody want to come out and say, no, don't do this. Don't nobody want to tell our brothers and sisters, hey, look, this is what the white man showed us. This is what the white man gave us. This is what the white man put on our people in slavery, dating all the way back to the Greeks. We got all this from the Greeks, right? We're not looking at each other like we're made in the image of the Most High anymore. We're not looking at each other like that. We're looking at each other like niggas and sticks and any other derogatory term that you could think of. That's how we look at each other now. We're not looking at our brother like, man, I can't hit this brother. This brother is made in the image of God. I'm not going to hit this brother. I'm not going to shoot this brother. This brother is made in the image of God. If we thought like that, it would not be no more gun violence amongst our people. If we looked at each other like This brother is made in the image of God. I cannot shoot this brother. It's all in the mindset. All right, let's get that Leviticus 18:3.
Okay. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And
Right?
after
And
the
the reason why I pulled this, because I actually pulled this going into when we was talking about Christmas also too. Because remember at the very beginning of the slideshow, I said that the earliest known boxing it started in Egypt, and then from Egypt it went to the Greeks. So here we got again in the law is telling us after the Egyptians, we're not supposed to be doing after the Egyptians. So even though it went on to the Greeks, we're not supposed to be doing what they doing either. So why are we taking on all these other customs that do not belong to our that are not our people's? But we're just going right along with it. Let's get that Leviticus 19 and 17.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt not.
What you say. I don't care what you say about, oh, it's just a sport. When you get ready to get into that ring, it is hatred. It's not love. And then like the Boaz, what was that title that you had got? Where'd you get that from? You got that from the Jones Tarver fight, didn't you?
Kind of one.
Them brothers really disliked each other.
Or you know what? I think it was somebody in Judah. I thought it said.
Oh yeah. No, Mayweather and Zad Judah.
Yep,
that's right. Mayweather and Zad Judah. But it's hatred. Ain't nobody getting inside that ring thinking, oh, I love my brother. Again, that love go get your head knocked off. You gonna go to sleep real quick, getting in there talking about I love my brother. Because the brother that's getting in there across from me, he not thinking those same thoughts. Again, when I train people, I train people to hit with bad intentions. You can't have good intentions, or you can't hit somebody with bad intentions if you thinking you love them. Oh, I care about this brother. It's bad intentions. I wanna knock this brother out. And that's the whole goal of boxing. I'm gonna say it again. The whole point of boxing is not to go to the scorecards. Don't no fighter climb into the ring thinking, oh, I want this to go to the judges. I want the judges to tell me I won the fight. The whole goal of the fight is to get in there and knock your opponent out. It's to leave them unconscious. Tell me, how is leaving somebody unconscious love? How's that love? That goes against the law. Now, the law don't specifically say, hey, don't box. And for all the smart ass niggas out there that want to say, oh, the law don't say you can't box. The law clearly says you're not supposed to hate your brother in your heart. The law clearly says, hey, we're not supposed to do after the Egyptians. Where the boxing originated from? Who popularized it? The Egyptians did. There's other things that there's a little bit of ambiguity to that brothers could play around with and say, well, that's not in the law. We got niggas out here today eating pork, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving, eating honey glazed ham, talking about, oh, the Pharisees are they gonna love this one.
Yeah, all praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High, right? That's what they say.
And then said next time he gonna have 3 hams.
3 hands.
Hey man,
Wow.
Slakia. Yo, God is not mocked, and it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, as the scripture said.
Come on.
So if it come about, this man in the hospital, and they dangling some food out in his mouth because he got a 50-foot tapeworm that they got to take up out his body, you're gonna have to think again. Most high willing, you know what I'm saying, that don't happen. But because you're dealing with certain stuff like that, those are the risks that you take with dealing with that. That's why the Most High said that it's abominable unto you and you're not supposed to eat it. When you read the science about that stuff, it talks about there's pesticides that's in that creature, that there is no level of cooking that you can do to be able to get it out of there for real. So it's like you playing with death for real. You know what I'm saying? But I yield. So like, yeah,
And saying that he doing it in the name of the Most High, that's wicked as hell.
Keep playing with the Most High. Most High gonna give you what you want.
Right.
Hold on. I wanna share this.
Fight it is. Many believe that the man to my left is the man at 140 pounds. The power, the precision of Regis Prograis, looking to put his name amongst the great pound for pound fighters in the sport. But the man to my right has been an incredible enigma over the last couple of years, traveling to Australia to dethrone the undisputed lightweight world champion George Kambosos, not once, but twice, beating him in the rematch.
A very entertaining back and forth at the podium between Devin Haney, Regis Prograis, their respective camps on stage with Eddie Ernest. They get ready for the face-off to wrap up this launch press conference outside Chase Center. The road leading up to December 9th on DAZN pay-per-view. Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Prograis' WBC 140-pound strap.
So you mean to tell me that they sitting up there thinking, "Oh, I love this brother"?
Right.
No, lie. They're not thinking that at all. And I'm gonna stand on this, man. Competitive boxing, MMA, is not lawful, and our people shouldn't be doing it. And I'm again being 100% honest. It took me a while to come to that and have to admit that, because of how much I loved the sport, how much of my life I devoted to this sport. But I can't do it no more. I won't do it no more. Somebody grab that other precept for me. Get Leviticus 19 and 17.
It's the book of Leviticus. Huh?
Slakia, go ahead. Slakia, I don't want.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Read that one more time.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. We know the heart is the mind. You know what I wish, though? I wish our fathers hyped us up like black fathers of young boxers do. If boys were that confident about life, where would brothers be at? Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. But the sad thing is, why is it only the fathers having to hype their sons up like that for a boxing event? Or maybe it's not just the fathers hyping their sons up for boxing events or sporting events, but that's all the media will show us. Maybe that's the only thing. Hey, man, keep it a buck. The majority of us come from single parent households. The majority of us didn't grow up with fathers in our homes. You know, that's just what it is. So we have to start as leaders in our community. We have to start showing our young men other ways. It's not all about we're the most talented people on the earth. But why do we limit our abilities and our talent to our athleticism? Why do we limit our talent and our athletic? Why do we limit our talent to our athleticism? I got one more I'm going to show here real quick, and then we're going to bounce off of this.
No excuses, whereas other fighters under the Mayweather Promotions banner, as well as PBC.
Place in DC called Southeast. Look it up. And the same thing with Baltimore. So we've been born to stuff like this here, man. And like y'all said, this fight will not go the distance. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's gonna be at their best. We don't want no excuses now. After it's over with, it's over with. But I got faith in mine. I know what he's gonna do.
From Las Vegas, coming to make a statement, Rolando Rolly Romero.
Man, I just want to say I'm excited to be here on Showtime. You know what I mean? I might be honestly the youngest. Well, I mean, as far as like record-wise, like as far as like all the YouTubers and stuff, with the exception of them, I might be the pay-per-view fighter with the least amount of fights. You know? But I mean, you guys gonna see the semifinal. I'm gonna knock this dwarf the fuck out. That's how it is. You hear that? I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Flatline. You know how it is. You damn fucking scared? What the fuck am I scared of? You literally, man. You a stupid fuck.
All right, enough, man. But yo, it ain't. You can't sit up there and tell me, oh yeah, no, there's no hate towards each other. No, man, it's no love going into a fight. Point blank, man. Grab Exodus 21:12 real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead, Orion.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 12. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death.
Right? He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death. So if you kill a man, whether it's you think the Most High care if you was in the ring boxing? Do you think the Most High is going to care that you killed a man, but you was in the boxing ring? So a Most High, that don't count. We was boxing.
We were sanctioned.
Yeah.
By Esau.
Do you think the Most High is going to care about that? No, he's not. Not when the Most High smote a man for touching the Ark of the Covenant because it was fallen. The Most High smote him, but you think that he's gonna be okay if you accidentally kill someone, and you can't call it an accident. You can't call it an accident. Hold on, I got one more here for y'all. I need y'all to see this.
I can't see it all.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
So that was him before he got injured in the fight. They didn't show the fight that did this to him. But this dude was a boxer. This dude was a boxer. You think the Most High is going to care about you? Yawasab said that dude that got hit in the back of the head. Yeah, Khan. Right? Old boy got hit in the back of the head and he ain't no more good. His life is his quality of life. I'm not gonna say his life is done, but his quality of life is over. The quality of life that he had, he'll never have that again. Because he was a fighter, because he was boxing. So now read that precept again.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 12. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death.
Right. And so now it's plenty men that's done died in the boxing ring. That's done died after the fight. Arad said that the brother was walking back to the dressing room and he collapsed and he died. So does the Most High care that you was in the boxing ring and it's just entertainment and it's just sport for us? It's fun, it's exciting to watch your brothers get in there and literally try to kill each other. Right? Get that Proverbs 3 and 31.
This is book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Now we say this all the time: envy not the oppressor, but choose none of his ways. So, like when we go out there and we and I had even said this to a brother one time before. I say, all right, brother, you say that we go out there and we teach people not to keep 4th of July, celebrate 4th of July. Why do we tell people not to celebrate 4th of July? Is celebrating the 4th of July, does that go against the law? Can we find do not celebrate the 4th of July in the law? We cannot find that. You can't find nothing in the law that even kind of somewhat remotely comes close to not keeping the 4th of July or doing the 4th of July. But we go out there on the streets, we go out there in the highways and the byways, and we tell our people, do not celebrate the 4th of July. And we'll go to this scripture right here. Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. And we say, brother, we were still in slavery. Our people were still picking cotton. You weren't free. It's not right. It's not our independence. Why are you celebrating the 4th of July? Envy not thy oppressor, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't fight each other. We didn't climb through into and or go into arenas and fight each other. That's something that our oppressor, or not just taught us, that was our oppressor's ways. And so now what we've done is we have started to envy our oppressor and what they have given us. Our oppressor used to make us fight against each other in slavery, where we didn't have a choice. You had to go out there and you had to fight your brother to the death. Your oppressor made you do that. But now again, we do it willingly. When the Bible says to envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. Wrestling, MMA, boxing. Right? And again, I'm specifically keying in on the combat sport. Right? Get Jeremiah 10 and 2.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Learn not the way of the heathen. So where do we get these customs from? Okay, from Egypt, from the Greeks. The faggots that used to do everything in the nude. They like to wrestle naked. They like to box naked. In fact, when we read that, it said that not only did they like to wrestle naked, but they put oil all over their bodies. What type of faggot stuff is that? They get lubed up before they start wrestling.
That's weird.
Come on. Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. Right? Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. Where did we get this from? Right? Give me that 1 Timothy 3 and 3.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 3. Not given to wine, no striker.
No what?
No striker. Not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous.
You know what's crazy is right after it says not a striker, it says not given to filthy lucre. Because what are brothers at the end of the day? What are the brothers fighting for? They're fighting for filthy lucre. Lucre. Probably not saying that right. Lucre.
Lucre.
That's what it's all about. It's all about that money. So now you become a striker for lucre. Read that again for me, Boaz.
Okay. Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous.
Not a brawler. Not man, it's so much in this one verse. In this one verse, but you know what brothers say? Oh, that's not the law, brother. That's not the law. And like Officer Knox said, that weak dollar. That is not worth the paper that it's printed on. And Sister L, yes, it is a verse that say that if two men are striving together, right, and the pregnant woman actually accidentally gets hit and the baby died, yes, he must be put to death. Yes, that's in the law. Con, I want to bring this up in the blue letter here real quick. And then we go get ready because we've been on for 2 hours. So we go cut it short. Well, not cut it short, but we go get off. Let me bring this up in the blue letter.
Can I make a correction real quick?
Yeah, Con.
When I mentioned the Puerto Rican brother, that it wasn't actually Issacharite, it was a Russian fighter. So now I really don't feel bad. He killed a Russian in the ring. So, hey.
Who died in the ring? The Russian did?
The Russian did. Sabril Matias killed the Russian.
Okay.
My feelings are all put back.
All right. So here, real quick. Boom. So striker. What is a striker? Let's see what a striker is. That's the Greek 41-31. Bruiser. Ready for a blow. A pugnacious, contentious, quarrelsome person what is happening at all of those boxing events, the face-offs, the whole lead up to the fight. It's nothing but going back and forth. It's nothing but contention. It's nothing but hyping yourself up, getting mentally prepared for what's got to happen. You have to mentally prepare yourself for what is about to happen. All right. Real quick, not a brawler. Let's see what not a brawler. Not contentious. Abstaining from fighting. So you're not supposed to be a brawler. So you're supposed to abstain from fighting. Right. But with that, man, that's really all I got. In regards to the sport of boxing, man. Oh yeah, Khan. That's all I got, man. You brothers got anything else that y'all want to add on or want to say? And for real, I hope it's my prayer and it's my hope, man, that Israel, that we turn away from this foolishness, that we turn away from watching, our brothers get inside these rings and fight one another, that we stop celebrating this, that we stop putting money into Esau's pockets just for the sake of entertainment, so that we can be entertained at the expense of our brothers or sisters.
Okay.
That's the hope. If we as a nation come together and separate ourselves from Esau, we'll cripple this country.
Facts.
Easy.
But it's hard to get our people to do it. It's hard to get our people on one thought, on one mind. Right? We have to, when it talks about come out of her, my people, it's talking about everything. That scripture is talking about everything. It's talking about coming out of that mindset.
Right.
We are still operating, really, for real, we are still operating in a Gentile mindset. And we have to come out of that. Right? All right, you had something?
Not just to, from what you were saying, that it's not a bad thing to, train and do the stuff, and basically on what you just brought out on how we're supposed to love each other. The only training we should be doing is if we're gonna truly separate from these people and do the training to prepare ourselves for the war to come. Because when you look at Esau and his nation, we know for a fact that they got all the rights to buy all the guns. They train their kids at a young age to hunt humans, basically. So, and that's the one thing we don't do. We years, generations behind with doing that with our people. So to be honest, that's the only type of training we should be doing, is just to prepare our kids for the race war to start tomorrow, But outside of that, this was a great lesson. I love boxing. The only thing I don't like about boxing is when they do not the post fight, but the fight where they gotta do the weigh in, they gotta get naked to weigh in. I just don't like all that because it just reminds me of a bunch of slavery and how we were just, masqueraded back in those times, though. But this was a great class, and I hope that everybody get edified by it. And I think you should have part 2, because I feel like you didn't get out all that you wanted to.
And all praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. No, I could, man. This is, and the reason why I'm so passionate about it, is because, again, this was something that I devoted half of my life to. Half of my life was devoted to this. Right. So I am very passionate about this. So, but all praises to the Most High. Do want to just go through a couple of announcements real quick. So we will be having another prospect phase starting up in January. So if brothers want to come in, they want to do the work, man, your spirit is leading you to do the work with us, man. Drop us an email. Send us an email. The prospecting phase again is going to be starting up in January. Also, Sisters Corner. So we will be having a class for the sisters. We will be giving classes for that. So if you are a sister, you want to come do the work, well, not necessarily do the work, but yeah, actually do the work, because sisters have their role as well too. The brothers, we need sisters. We can't do things without our sisters behind us. So we will be having the Sisters Corner. Also going to be starting according to the Gregorian calendar in the year 2024, and then also Passover. Passover is going to be fast approaching, right? Passover is fast approaching. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. We are going to have the Passover in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want to come out to Passover, keep Passover with us, go to the website. Everything is on the website. You can go get your tickets on the website. Go there, get your tickets, come out, congregate with your peoples. We would love to meet you. We would love to congregate with you, brothers, sisters. Again, Passover will be in Atlanta, Georgia. This year is April 21st. All right. So you can go ahead, start getting your garments, man. Step into that thing fresh to death. Get your garments, get your tickets, make your arrangements for how you plan on getting there. Right now, if your brothers coming in from out of town, brothers in the camp, link up with other brothers to get an Airbnb, lock that up, so that you guys can save on some money. And then also, if you're coming out with more than one person, it's actually a little bit of a discount for multiple tickets. So if you get like a family pack tickets, those prices do end up coming out a little bit cheaper versus like the individual tickets. But with that, also make sure you're tuning in for our other classes throughout the week. So we got Milk Mondays with Captain Aliar. Of course, we've got Wild Out Wednesdays. We've got Torah Thursdays with Captain Jonathan. Going over the Torah, man. We gotta know that Torah, man. That should be something that brothers eagerly want to do also, right? We got to get into that. So that's every Thursday. And then Sabbath Morning Brew. Also, we have the prayer call at the start of the Shabbat, Friday, so-called evening. We have the prayer call. Off the Yawasop is on there. He always brings out fire. Officer Yawasop be bringing out the fire on the prayer call. So definitely call in for that, man. It never be really too long unless brothers just really be in the spirit and we be bringing things out. But what better way to start off your Shabbat than with prayer? So I would love to get brothers and sisters on that. Other than that, that's all I got. Y'all got something, officers?
I got something.
Wow.
I got something.
Tom, go ahead.
Kind of. I was just looking at something just to bring out for Israel. This is Romans chapter 12 and 10. It says, "Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another." And I was looking at it because I'm like, this is something that we're supposed to do. Like we trying to get ourselves back to our heritage and things like that, right? So we got to be kindly affectionate to one another, preferring one another. So I went to look up like what preferring is according to the blue letter, the concordance, and it's G4285. And it says to go before and show the way. Well, what is the way? Right? We know the way is the law. The law is life. And showing your brother brotherly love, not having hatred or malice in your heart towards your brother, not going into battle with your brother into a match where it's like you gonna get mad and be trying to kill this brother. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we don't need to be doing. The only time we need to be exerting energy like that is in serious matters, for real. Well, besides that, that's all I got for that. I yield.
Count all praise to the Most High. Let's get that Daniel 7:18. Baba Kashah.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever.
I was shy. Hey, the water, y'all, for rocking with us. Until tomorrow, Captain Jonathan, for Torah Thursdays. And Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black